do 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 do. Oh, hi there. I didn't see you come in, which doesn't make sense because you're through a video screen. I kind of have an important video to make today, and it's also kind of a difficult one, so bear with me. I'm sick. I don't feel super great. But given what's happened in the last 24 hours, I kind of feel like I gotta at least talk about this a little. So with that being said, Billy Joel, why don't you say it better than anyone? Although I did kind of start a little bit of a fire on this one. The video today, especially if you saw the title, is basically about whales and YouTubers' responsibility. A topic that I've seen come up that probably should have been talked about sooner on my channel, but it hasn't overly been enough of an issue that I felt the need to talk about it, until now. So let's actually talk about this while I'm sitting in my comfy chair and you're just listening. But, hey, uh, just, if we have Billy Joel too much, we're gonna get, copyrighted. So let's just have a little relaxing music to talk about. A topic that is probably pretty big right now, the mixer system. The mixer system has come to the global side, and it is not what most people wanted. Most people were kind of hoping for the mixer system to have unit prisms, and while the current response from Gummy seems a tiny bit insulting, that mainly because people don't work really hard to get units, they get lucky, or they spend money until they get those units. Hey, I mean, that's just kind of the way this game is. I'm willing to acknowledge that completely. So, that's not really what I'm here to talk about today. The thing that I'm really here to talk about is whales, as well as YouTubers' responsibility to the FFB community. Because the FFB community is, I mean, it's not tearing itself apart, but it's definitely kind of split down the middle, especially for certain people. So what exactly do I think? Well, I'm going to talk about the thing that's probably easier for me, and I will definitely not say that this is ipso facto the way things are. But I do feel that this is my opinion on the way this is, and maybe it'll make you think a little, excuse me, a little bit about how you view these kind of things. So let's take whales. Whales spend a lot of money on the game. What is their responsibility? My opinion is they actually have zero responsibility towards the community. They are private individuals. They spend their time making their money. They make good money. They have tons of disposable income that they can spend on an expensive game like this. That's their prerogative. They are totally free to do that. I would never argue something like that. While I do find it a little staggering, some people spend as much money on this game as they do, that's their freedom. They've worked hard. This is the thing that they get. This is their reward for that. Is that always the case? No. Some people get lucky into getting the job that they get. Some people get really unlucky and don't get the job that they deserve. That's life. But in this world that we live in, it is a fact that people who have more money can buy nicer things. And it's the same in this game. But just because they can buy nicer things doesn't mean they actually owe you anything. With that being said, I'm not saying that whales don't have a huge influence over the direction that the game will go. Whales make these companies the most money, a company's prerogative, and, most important thing that a company can do is make money. They have to answer to their stockholders, they have to answer for a whole bunch of stuff. To higher up executives, it is their job to make money. Businesses that do not make money disappear, or they get bailed out by something, but let's stay focused for a second here, because I doubt Gummy or Alum will be bailed out by anybody. Seeing the number of mobile game companies, whales have a huge influence. I am not going to argue this point even for a second, because I don't think that it is fair or worth anybody's time. Whales do have a big influence on the direction that the game goes, but that doesn't mean that they have a responsibility to look after this community. They very much can just do what they want. They are private citizens just playing a game, enjoying it, and that's the thing. This is a game. While that being said, I do think it is absolutely awesome if a whale wants to try and influence the company by reducing their spending or stopping spending. I've seen people on the global side doing this, basically saying no, something has to change. How long it lasts, well, that's up to them, but really, this is a whale's prerogative as far as I view it. It is not their responsibility to look after us. They are just trying to have some fun with a thing that they enjoy. So the next time you want to say something about, they should do this or they should do that, no, they don't. That's not their responsibility. Let them have fun. Okay? Now let's talk about the second class, which is something that is way more personal to me. The YouTubers. Because yes, YouTubers do have an influence over their viewers. Right now, all of you, slap the face. Good. YouTubers do have an influence over people's opinions more than anything. Although if anybody slapped their face, come on, really? You're not helping. YouTubers do have a influence over, especially with their opinions and strongly worded videos where a person is well spoken or it looks confident or speaks clearly and understandably to a point with a good tone in their voice. There's a lot of ways that people can influence things or other people through speeches. Some of the worst disasters in a lot of things have been caused by people who have really good, talented speech abilities. And to some extent, yeah, that is a YouTuber. They are making a video. They have this many followers. Therefore, this many people think they're right, or at least right enough that they're worth subscribing to. And yeah, that can be influential on young minds. But as much as there is influence about anything in the game that a YouTuber can have, it's also the viewer's responsibility. Don't lump this all on anyone. Anything is basically kind of a two-way street, where, even going back to the whales for a second, the whales might feel some responsibility, but maybe that they can do something to help if they want, but they don't have to. But as much as YouTubers have to kind of think, and I do think that us YouTubers have to think about how we influence the community, what our videos will say, whether they are way too positive, which can be as dangerous as way too negative. Let's face it, being overly negative about something, yeah, it can suck the joy out for people who are enjoying the game, who just want to hear good things. The other side of that, too, is that there is the way too positive people who think that everything is okay. Everything's alright. Everything's kind of just level a lot of the time. Even with a lot of the stuff that has been happening on the JP side. I don't particularly like it, but then again, I've also kind of stopped spending money on the JP side. It's been an entire month and I haven't spent a dime on Brave Exvius. I'm pretty proud of myself, even if no one else is. Excuse me. YouTubers do influence, but a viewer's responsibility is also to stop and think about what you're hearing, to really listen to the words that are being spoken, not only the end point of it, but also the middle points too. And to that point, I will bring up my more recent videos that a lot of people have claimed to be negative. And yeah, I'm definitely feeling like I have been more negative in the last few months. Why? Well, for one thing, the power creep has kind of slowed down considerably on the JP side. There hasn't been an overly excitingly powerful character recently. And and while I do like recommending really cool units, a lot of people don't have a ton of resources, and I'm doing recommendations for a lot of them, meaning that I have to say, yeah, this unit, don't feel bad if you can't pull or if you don't have resources. No, don't even worry about spending money on this one. It's an easy skip. Does that mean that I think the units are bad? No, I actually think a lot of the units are really good. Firion and Leon are kind of the most recent example, as well as Kefka and Shadow. Both units are really cool concept-wise, that these units that were not 5 stars before are 5 stars now. But are they really worth a lot of people spending money? It's not just people's opinions that have strong effects on the people people in the community. It's also pull videos where you see people getting rainbows all the time makes you think that you can get more rainbows, and that is not the case. Your odds are not better because somebody else got better odds, but we can think that is a psychological effect that gacha games and lotteries do have. There is a psychological effect of seeing somebody win and thinking, hey, I can win, mainly because you don't hear about the losers. So if it sounds like recently that I've been saying that, yeah, it's an easy pass, and you're thinking, but this is a good character. Yeah, pretty much all of the newer characters are really good. Firion is really good, Leon is really good, Kefka is really good, but I can't super hard be like, yeah, positive, everything about this is great, because part of it is I'm going to make some people feel bad because they can't try for it or won't get it, and the other side is that honestly, some people are just looking for what is the most powerful because they don't have many resources. So I'm trying to think about all my viewers, not just the viewers who want to hear that everything is rosy and sunshiny into the future. It's not. There is going to be lulls in the power creep, and this is definitely one on the JP side right now. Does that mean that the characters are not getting more powerful? No, in some cases there are better characters than previous characters, but are they worth sinking a ton of resources or making somebody spend money? Probably not. To that extent, I don't apologize about my videos, being they positive or negative. I try to strike a balance in my videos, and obviously that is a very difficult thing when you do this without a script. Even right now, I'm kind of just saying what I feel and what I have previously thought before recording this video. I think that YouTubers do have a huge influence, but it's not just, the onus is not only on us, it's on you, the viewer, too, to think about what you're hearing and listen to the words more carefully. The idea that, yeah, these units are actually, excuse me, really good, but maybe they're just not worth the resources, and there are other people who need to hear that more, because the influence that I can have in a positive direction can be far more dangerous in a game like this than my influence in a negative direction. If I influence someone negatively to the point that they quit the game, I mean, they might not spend a ton of money. The counterpoint to that, as far as my views a lot lately, is that if I push people into spending a ton of money, that does actually make me feel bad, because financial problems can have a big effect. Again, the onus is also on the viewer as much as it, to some extent, as well as the YouTuber. But this is a dangerous line that YouTubers have to walk. We, to be totally fair, take a lot of abuse from YouTube commenters. I'm not asking for your sympathy, I'm asking for your understanding. YouTubers take a lot of shit from you guys when we are trying to make content, and yeah, we screw up. We're humans. Get the fuck over it. I'm sure you guys, or everyone out there who has that kind of, well, you made a mistake on this video. And sometimes they are just trying to help and point stuff out. Sometimes they're trying to be jerks about it. And to them I say, oh, you've never made a mistake. How nice it must be on your pedestal. But not being remotely salty about that at all, it's just kind of makes this sometimes a thankless job. And to that extent, yeah, maybe that negativity reflects into our videos as well. As for a YouTuber's influence, really depends if the company watches. Our influence can be on the game as well as the game direction by getting people to spend more or spend less. Personally, when it came to last night's Mixer System video, my opinion on the response was inappropriate and a little insulting towards most of the player base, but a reasonable one from a business standpoint. Gummy is just kind of doing what is best in their eyes for monetary, because they're making money off of it for now. I definitely read the part where it said, yeah, these will be added at some point in the future. The some point is a big enough asterisk that I felt it was worth calling out for and even giving it a certain finger. Again, I didn't personally, my opinion was that it was not good. But yeah, when it comes to talking about YouTubers as well as whales, first of all, you know, I'm not going to be that guy who's like, hey, you should leave these guys alone. But you should think about their actual responsibility to the community, which is essentially zero. They don't have to do this. They're just trying to have fun. It's just a game. And I do realize that that is a little weird given, you know, some of my reactions. But hey, we could go into a whole thing about how media is a very personal thing and people get super invested in it. Why do you think spoilers hurt so much? But especially for your big piece of media. I could, if I had like a game, if I gave away the end of Game of Thrones, the TV series, right here on this video, there would be a lot of angry people. I would never do that, but it is a thing. So, when it comes to YouTubers, yeah, we do have an influence on people. I fully recognize that, and will continue into the future to try and be careful about it to the best of my ability. At the same time, I would really love it if, you know, you could remember that everybody in this community is a human being, believe it or not, be they whale, YouTuber, or just game player. We all deserve some amount of respect, and we all deserve to be listened to and kind of understood our position. Whether or not I fully communicated my feelings on all of this, I have no idea, and I expect to see maybe a lot of negativity about this video, but at the end, my just general opinion is that it's a game, try to have fun, and try and definitely find some enjoyment. Contrary to popular belief, I actually still do enjoy playing this game. I just kind of wish that there were some, I don't know, maybe newer things or whatever. But I would like to see I guess I should, for the last thing in this video, I really want to talk about what my feeling is about Brave Exvius lately, because obviously with me stopping playing Arena, starting to pick up Epic 7, playing Kingdom Hearts 3, Resident Evil 2, there's been a lot of change of feelings. And basically it came about the same time as two major events. One, Alum obviously starting to be more affected by Square Enix executives, which was noted in one of the live streams where Hirano said that, you know, it was executives who was making the changes to how many tickets were given out per month, which is why the start of the gift tickets started. The second event that really kind of changed things for me was the Fan Festa. After the Fan Festa, things have kind of been on a downslide, because that event was just so much fun, and also seeing the JP community out in public, you know, kind of all together, and just having such a fun event afterwards, nothing has really kind of matched that feeling, and so it has been a little bit of a downside. It's also January, which means that seasonal affective disorder is a thing, and it's a bit rough on people who to try and stay positive. All of those are reasons, and definitely, to me, not necessarily excuses. My feelings on Brave Exvius, a lot of the reasons that I just quit Arena was because I'm just not taking Brave Exvius as seriously anymore. I love doing a lot of the analytics. The analytics are not as insano as Epic 7 is, which just has more stats and more things to consider and everything like that. It's also not as simple as the other example, which is Dragalia Lost, which I played, which was just felt way too simple and not enough analytical stuff for me to really have any fun with. Brave Exvius is a good medium ground. It also has Final Fantasy in it, which I really love the series. Watching AGDQ and Final Fantasy IX just made me remember how much I love Final Fantasy IX for so many reasons, and that made me realize that, yeah, I still love Final Fantasy a lot. Not enough to be a fan, but definitely a lot. It is an important series to me. I enjoy playing Brave Exvius to see where the story goes, as well as the designs, the characters, the new kits, and I'm a collector as well as a, you know, I have that fun of, you know, ooh, ticket, what am I gonna get? Oh, nothing. That kind of sucks, but oh well, we'll try another ticket. Oh, got a rainbow. Oh, nice. I love that feeling of up and down. Personally, I have been trying to step back from Brave Exvius because Brave Exvius was last year a pretty expensive thing for me, and this following year, living, you know, in Japan, I want to do more things here and less things in the game, and definitely spend less money in this game. So a way for me to be less invested in all of that is to just not be, well, I need to spend money on this game. If I'm too involved with the game, it does increase the pressure for me to spend money. Not only that, but also being a YouTuber. You may have noticed the lack of a lot of character reviews lately. 1, because I was moving. 2, because I've been sick. But 3, because I haven't spent any money. I don't have these characters. And while I can use friend unit characters, it's less fun, kind of, without being able to do the setup and the show off on the training dummy and everything like that. They still haven't added a training dummy that you can use friends with. That would be really cool. Get on that, Alum. But I still enjoy a lot of parts of Brave Exvius. I like the general setup, the general way this game works, but personally, taking a step back was an important thing for my goals this year, to spend less money on this game, and so far it is working. So, and some of that is taking power back from these games. A gacha's real power is making you be dependent on it, or feeling like it needs you, of constantly giving you updates. This thing is done. Oh, your stamina's back. Don't you want to play again? Yeah, I do, actually. Thanks. But constantly bringing you back into that world, spend enough time there, you can end up spending a fair bit of money. And that is not going to be my 2019. Anyway, you guys, this has been an incredibly long video. If you sat through the whole thing, give yourself a pat on the back. I really hope you didn't pat yourself on the back. We just had a video about influencing. Whatever. I hope that you can see where I'm coming from on a lot of this stuff. And I hope that you can, if nothing else, next time you want to say something about YouTubers, whales, or hell, regular people in the community, stop and think about what you're about to say, and then realize that we're all supposed to be on the same team, which is just having a game that we can play have fun, enjoy, and also realize that some stuff needs to be better, some stuff's not as bad as some people think, and that we're all human beings deserving of at least a little bit of respect. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.